Hello and welcome to Lyra Nara. In this video we are going to talk about another very important organ in our bodies, and that is the heart, of course. And we're gonna discuss symptoms, conditions that can develop and why they develop, and of course discuss as well some natural remedies and ways in which you can maintain your healthy heart and deal with conditions that you have already developed. And we're also going to touch on the connection between the heart and the mind, and that's why the title of this presentation is Heart, the House of the Mind. But before we do all that, I would just like to remind you quickly that we still have the biggest sales action of 2019 going on at lyranara.com. You can get some of the most powerful holistic health devices at unbeatable prices until the end of the year. So be quick, link in the description box below. And with that out of the way, let's dive right in and learn more about the heart. So what describes a healthy heart? People with healthy hearts are generally friendly, warm and loving. Their mind is clear, their emotions are balanced, and they go effortlessly through the problems of life. They are also dedicated, empathic and caring. On the other hand, people with heart conditions are restless, they can laugh excessively or not laugh at all, and they can manifest an overall strange, inappropriate behavior. Their minds might as well be scattered and their spirit might be weak, and they might be unable to focus also. Severe manifestations of a sick heart can also be mental illnesses. And if the heart is weak, the mind has no residence and wanders homelessly at night. Thus the heart problems always manifest also with insomnia. People with unbalanced hearts have trouble falling asleep. Their sleep is shallow, interrupted, unproductive and dream disturbed. And the heart, of course, as we all know, also governs the blood, and since it is responsible for supplying blood to all body tissues, a healthy heart and abundant blood will manifest in radiant, peach-like complexion, while flushed or white pale face indicates a heart-blood disharmony. The sense organ that the heart opens to is, of course, the tongue, and therefore the heart controls the speech. Any speech problems, therefore, including impairment of language ability, also known as aphasia, stuttering, excessive speaking, or confused speaking, can also indicate heart imbalances. Also, spontaneous sweating or night sweats are commonly related to a deficient heart, and heart, of course, the heart likes the summer and the beautiful radiant summer's colors, especially red and green. And according to DCM, one of the problems that can develop with the heart is that we have a so-called overheated heart. Causes are, the most major ones are stress, overworking yourself and lack of rest, chronic worries and anxiety, but also liver conditions such as hepatitis, an inflamed liver, a fatty liver, bile blockages in the ducts, infectious and parasitic diseases, all of those that transmit heat to the heart. Symptoms are heart palpitations, mental restlessness, insomnia and dream disturbed sleep, anxiety, night sweats, hot palms and sores, dryness of the skin, internal mucosa, eye problems and mouth problems, thirsty and the longing for icy cold drinks, an aversion to heat. An overheated heart also manifests with a red face, severe mental restlessness, agitation and impulsiveness, mouth and tongue ulcers. Also, you might notice dark urine, blood in the urine and a bitter taste in the mouth. That also hints to liver symptoms. And the treatment is that you should select cooling foods and herbs. Cool herbs should not be taken excessively also on a long term, because they are cold in nature, and the name already suggests, and will eventually slow down also the digestion and damage the spleen. So what can you do if you're suffering from an overheated heart? Well, red is the color of the heart, thus red foods have a nourishing effect for the heart in general. Watermelon, for example, has a strong cooling effect. Red radishes and tomatoes cool the blood, which consequently will cool the heart because the heart, of course, governs the blood. Also, red grapefruit has both the color and the taste of the heart, so it's red and bitter and is a great heart cooling food therefore. A well-recommended food that builds heart cells is also the oyster shell. It may be either crushed and consumed in a tea or bought in the form of oyster shell calcium supplement. An overheated heart is also a consequence of kidney weakness, and therefore foods that tonify the kidneys such as asparagus, string beans, kelp and grapes, and all foods with both sweet and sour flavor are great. Kidney tonifying is also a complex therapy that targets also the tonification of the lungs, stomach and spleen. And some helpful herbs here are Taxilus chinensis, also known as mulberry mistletoe stem, Eclipta prostrata, Lingustrum lucidum, Sesamum indicum, Asparagus cochinkinensis, Ophiopogon japonica, Adenophora tetraphylla, Panax quinquefolium, Dendrobium nobile, Polygonatum odoratum, and Althea officinalis. Another way to clear the heat from the heart is to pacify the mind. Here whole wheat, brown rice and oats have a gentle mind-calming effect, as do the spices dill and basil. The herbs catnip, skullcap and the very bitter valerian subdue also nervousness and treat insomnia. The red schisandra berries, also known as Schisandra chinensis, and jujube seeds also calm the spirit and profoundly nourish the heart. One of the best therapies, however, on a long term is to take G-strophantine in a highly concentrated form of 3 mg per pill, which has a very strong anti-stress effect and regulative action on the heart's metabolism. It also supports an optimal heart oxygenation, stops heart attacks, heals angina pectoris, and also regulates the heartbeat. Another problem with the heart, according to TCM, is a weak heart, so an energy deficient heart. Causes for that are chronic or excessive negative emotions, sadness, grief and depression. An energy deficient heart is a common problem also for the contemporary person, because we all suffer from stress, poor diet, so bad quality food or poor food combinations, poor breathing, for example because of living in polluted areas, overworking ourselves and wearing out the energy of ourselves due to our lifestyle. Also negative emotions, since the heart houses the mind, emotional problems of any kind wear out the energy of the heart. The emotion most responsible, for heart energy depletion is sadness, because sadness is experienced with a physical sensation of pressure in the heart area and heart restriction. Symptoms you might notice are heart palpitations, heart disharmony of any kind, that manifests itself through heart palpitations, spontaneous sweating, shortness of breath, tiredness, paleness, cold sensitivity and fear of cold, shallow breathing, cold limbs and blue lips. Symptoms of heart collapse are also weak and shallow breathing, and of course all of those cold limbs and blue lips combined also with heart palpitations. Treatment, well, you must energize and tonify the heart, and you must tonify and activate also the blood and cleanse the blood of pathogens. What can we do about a weak heart then? Well, foods that tonify and nourish the heart and the blood are all red and slight sweet foods and herbs in general. Foods with intense red color such as beetroot, red cherries, hawthorn berries, red sage root, red yeast rice and reishi are excellent for building up blood, which consequently will strengthen the heart. Also, the foods must be consumed only warm to warm up the body. As deficient heart energy also affects other organs, treatment of a weak heart needs to be looked at holistically. If there are general energy deficiency signs such as a shortness of breath, spontaneous sweating, chronic tiredness, paleness, apathy, then the lungs, the spleen, the kidneys and the liver must also be fortified. Spleen energy deficiency symptoms are lack of energy, lack of appetite, feeling tired after meals, gas and bloating, loose stool or diarrhea. Lung energy deficiency symptoms are shortness of breath, a dislike to speak, overall weak immunity and coughing. And kidney Qi deficiency symptoms are frequent urination, dribbling after urination, urinating at night, incontinence and enuresis. Some herbs to tonify the heart are motherwort, radix ginseng, Codonopsis pilosula, Pseudostellaria heterophylla, Dioscorera opposite, Astragalus membranaceus, Atractylodes macrocephala, Sisyphus jujuba, Polygonatum sibiricum, velvet of deer antler, sea cucumber, Dipsacus asper, Drinaria fortune, Euchomia ulmoides, and Cuscata chinensis. Again, one of the greatest natural remedies for heart weakness is G-strophantine, highly concentrated because it regulates the heart metabolism. It also supports the sodium-potassium pump. It regenerates heart tissue, improves heart energy, your stamina and your endurance. You might also develop heart conditions due to blood deficiency. Causes for that are that the liver stores and regulates the blood in our bodies and therefore overall blood deficiency, so not enough blood or toxic blood, will affect the function of the liver. The heart blood deficiency symptoms are also spirit related as the heart houses the mind. For example, nervousness, anxiety, insomnia, dream disturbed sleep or poor memory might be signs of that. One major cause of blood deficiency can also be a weak spleen. When the spleen is weak, it cannot sufficiently transform the food into nutrients, blood and energy, and thus not enough blood is being produced. If this is the case, blood deficiency symptoms such as paleness, dry skin and dizziness are accompanied with some digestive issues like, for example, poor appetite and or poor digestion. A diet also which lacks sufficient nourishment is another cause for the blood to become deficient. Another cause again for blood deficiency can also be severe hemorrhages, so bleeding. Symptoms: pale face, pale lips, pale nails, even having a pale tongue without other paleness means that the blood can be deficient. Also dry skin, dry hair and thin hair, premature graying of the hair, muscle weakness, muscle cramps and muscle spasms, numbness in the limbs, dizziness, scant menstruation, painful menstruation, blurred vision, floaters in the eyes, dry or cracked nails, heart palpitations, nervousness, anxiety, insomnia, dream disturbed sleep, as well as poor memory are other symptoms. Treatments: a lot of the herbs in this class are heavy and sticky in nature and should be prescribed, of course, therefore with caution, as they could be heavy on the digestion as well. On the other hand, they are very potent and strongly reinforcing deficient blood, and for better effect it is also good to use them together with some Qi tonifying herbs. But with all of these treatments, please consult, of course, your trusted health practitioner or give us a call and discuss your particular problems with us. Don't start treatments on your own. Blood tonifying foods are all kinds of meats, especially red meat, eggs, cooked but not well done, as well as animal liver, One way to nourish an organ is to eat the same organ from an animal according to TCM, and since the liver stores blood not only in people but also in animals, consuming it as a food makes it a great blood tonic. Thus, eating chicken, pork or beef liver is maybe the best way to tonify the liver blood and to treat an overall blood deficiency. It is also important to point out that red meat, eggs and animal liver are high in cholesterol, and therefore people with high levels of cholesterol should tonify the blood predominantly with plant sources. For them, as well as for vegetarians and vegans, a great blood tonifying vegetable is spinach. Because spinach is rich in iron, it is always good to squeeze also some lemon into the meal or the tea, as iron needs vitamin C to be absorbed properly by our body. Other great blood tonifying vegetables are beets. You can squeeze them or make a juice out of them, and they have the same texture and color as blood. Carrots are also great. Broccoli, blood tonifying fruits are also chlorophyll rich foods such as raspberries, blackberries, huckleberries and dark grapes. Let's look then at some natural ways of dealing with blood deficiency. Rehmannia glutinosa is a processed herb that strongly tonifies the blood, addressing body substance loss that manifests in night sweats and nocturnal emissions. It also improves hearing, prevents premature graying of the hair, lightheadedness and dizziness. Another great herb is Polygonum multiflorum, or fleece flower root. It strongly tonifies the blood and supplements life essence. The essence is responsible for the length of our lifespan as well as the speed of our aging. And people using this herb long term stop graying of the hair. It also works great against blood vision, weakness in the lower back and knees, and poor sleep. It also treats malarial disorder due to blood deficiency. Angelica sinensis is another great herb commonly referred to as the woman's herb. It tonifies blood and regulates menstrual disorders due to blood deficiency, such as scanty, painful menstruation or lack of menstruation. It also has a moving quality, thus is used for pain due to blood stasis. Paeonia lactiflora is another famous blood tonifier that regulates the menses. It also preserves and harmonizes the liver and the digestion. Equus asinus L also tonifies and nourishes the blood and stops any kind of internal bleeding. Euphoria longan enters the spleen and the heart and calms the spirit, especially the heart-spleen related disturbing emotions such as overthinking, which comes from the spleen, and anxiety, which comes from the heart. Lycium barbarum, or West goji berry, is also considered as a longevity herb and also, of course, nourishes your blood. Nettle nourishes the blood also and also benefits the hair, restores the connective tissue and promotes lactation. For weakness and exhaustion, anemia and lack of menstruation, nettles are also great. Cichorium intybus also nourishes the blood and relieves fatigue. It also benefits the ability from overworking yourself, chronic illnesses, childbirth and surgery. And also recommended is vividartemesinine, one of the best therapies to cleanse and tonify your blood. There is also a list of supplements that can help you maintain a healthy heart. L-carnitine, here, the first one on the list, this is an amino acid that is found in nearly every cell of the body. L-carnitine plays a vital role in the production of energy. Carnitine turns body fat into energy. It helps get rid of toxic compounds from the mitochondria to prevent their buildup. Carnitine is produced by the liver and kidneys and stored in the muscle, the brain and heart tissue, all of which use fatty acids as energy. It is also abundant in meat. Some health benefits for the heart of L-carnitine are that it improves exercise tolerance in people with chronic stable angina. As an add-on to conventional therapies, L-carnitine may also reduce the frequency of chest pain, so angina in people with angina of the microvascular type. Carnitine may also protect heart function by increasing glucose metabolism, increasing blood flow, correcting abnormal heart rhythms, and reducing oxidative stress. Taking L-carnitine orally or intravenously by IV seems to improve also symptoms and increase exercise capacity in people with heart failure. One study also suggests that a combination of L-carnitine with ubiquinol, which is a form of CoQ10, may also improve symptoms of heart failure. And L-carnitine by mouth seems also, so orally taken, seems to reduce death rates from myocarditis associated with diphtheria, according to clinical trials. Sleep disordered breathing is also associated with heart damage and an altered heart carnitine metabolism. And although carnitine levels are low in the heart tissue, in those with chronic heart failure, carnitine blood levels may be increased due to a leakage from damaged heart cells and altered carnitine metabolism. So L-arginine is another very important amino acid that plays many important roles in our body. Therefore, it is also highly recommended as a supplement for maintaining a healthy heart. Among these are regulating the blood pressure and circulation via the nitric oxide pump, and it also boosts immunity. Particularly rich sources of arginine include fish and especially also walnuts, with as much as 15% of the amino acids being comprised of L-arginine. L-arginine can also be made from citrulline via the proximal tubule cells in the kidneys. Most of the L-arginine in the body is used to process ammonia into the less toxic urea, as well as to synthesize creatine and ornithine. A small portion is then used as a precursor to nitric oxide, a compound that dilates blood vessels, lowers blood pressure, and helps maintain a healthy cardiovascular system. Supplemental L-arginine is mainly used to achieve the benefits derived from converting this amino acid into nitric oxide. Another vital supplement for a healthy heart is ubiquinol. It is the reduced form of the coenzyme Q10, a compound that the mitochondria need to produce energy. It's also a strong antioxidant that protects the cell membranes and keeps them stable, while helping prevent LDL cholesterol from oxidizing. The body naturally produces ubiquinol, which supplies about half of the needs, and the other half comes from food. Meat, especially the heart, but also fish and shellfish are excellent sources of ubiquinol. It can be also found in eggs, dairy products and vegetables, but in lower quantities. Organs with the highest energy demand in our body have the highest levels of CoQ10. And these include the heart, the brain, the kidneys, the muscles, and the liver, all of which contain many mitochondria and use therefore a vast amount of energy. Factors can reduce the ubiquinol to ubiquinone ratio, including high blood pressure, liver diseases, Parkinson's disease, and cancer, especially liver, breast, and lung cancer. And ubiquinol is mostly responsible for the strong antioxidant benefits of CoQ10, and it protects cellular and mitochondrial membranes as well. It also boosts other important antioxidant enzymes, including glutathione peroxidase, superoxide dismutase, and catalase. And it also helps to regenerate vitamins E and C and restore their antioxidant potential. The heart is also the organ with the highest levels of ubiquinol in the body, and if in heart failure patients, high levels of a marker called N-terminal probrain natriuretic peptide, or NT-proBNP for short, point to more severe symptoms. Higher ubiquinol levels, on the other hand, are associated with lower NT-proBNP levels. And those with advanced heart failure are often unable to achieve high enough CoQ10 levels to see a benefit from this ubiquinol supplementation, even with doses over 900 milligrams, because they don't absorb it well. People with advanced heart failure may benefit more, therefore, from ubiquinol, as it is absorbed better than ubiquinone. A study of 7 advanced heart failure patients found that ubiquinol 450 to 900 milligrams per day greatly improved heart function and symptoms. In another study of 62 heart failure patients, a combination of ubiquinol 270 milligrams and L-carnitine 2250 milligrams reduced inflammation, improved symptoms of the disease, and their quality of life. Additionally, ubiquinol may help children with pediatric dilated cardiomyopathy, which is a life-threatening condition in which the heart becomes enlarged and is unable to pump blood effectively. Ubiquinol, 10 milligrams per kilogram of weight daily, improved heart function and reduced fatigue and difficulties breathing with physical activity in children with this condition in a study, and ubiquinol protected the hearts of those children from damages due to the low blood supply that also happens during heart attacks. So ubiquinol, about 600 milligrams per day, can reduce also high blood pressure according to studies. But that's not all. There are other vital supplements that can help your heart. Vitamin D is one of them. Vitamin D deficiency has been associated with an increased risk of cardiovascular diseases, including high blood pressure, heart attacks, peripheral arterial disease, and strokes in several studies. Deficiency may increase also the risk of heart disease, and supplementation with vitamin D may help protect the heart and blood vessels. Getting enough vitamin D may also help maintain normal blood pressure, and the heart does not go into the hibernation state with enough vitamin D. According to cell-based research, vitamin D receptor called 1-alpha hydroxylase is present in the heart and the blood vessels that suggest that it plays a very important role in maintaining a healthy heart. Studies including more than 1,800 patients found an increased risk of high blood pressure in those with a vitamin D level of below 50 nmol per liter compared to those with over 75 nmols per liter. One study showed also that vitamin D supplementation or UVB irradiation may lower the blood pressure. It may also improve blood pressure control and regress heart enlargement. Similarly, deficiency causes hardening of the arteries, so arteriosclerosis, and blood vessel dysfunction, which predispose people to cardiovascular diseases. Several studies also found that low levels of vitamin D and decreased exposure to sunlight are associated with an increased risk of heart disease. Sun exposure also reduces blood pressure. In fact, UVB therapy was able to significantly reduce blood pressure after 6 weeks in one study. According to cell-based studies, it decreases the activity of the renin-angiotensin system, which otherwise works to constrict blood vessels. Supplementation with vitamin D3 and K2, because you should always take them together to increase the vitamin D3 absorbability. You should take about 5,000 units of vitamin D3 with 2 capsules of vitamin K2. Vitamin K is a crucial nutrient for the calcium metabolism, for bone health, blood clotting, and a healthy heart. There are 2 main types of vitamin K2 called MK4 and MK7. Vitamin K2 is involved in blood clotting, bone health, and the regulation of some cellular functions in the human body. It is also important for regulation of cell growth and maintenance of the arterial wall. And vitamin K2 in the form of MK7 has a much longer half-life than the synthetic K1, which means it stays in your system for longer. Vitamin K1 comes from plant sources, while animal foods and some fermented products contain K2. Humans can partly convert vitamin K1 into K2 and produce K2 with the help of probiotics. And vitamin K2 is the principal form of vitamin K that the brain uses as well. Vitamin K2 in MK4 format was also found to represent greater than 98% of total vitamin K in the brain, irrespective of age. Next on the list of vital supplements for your heart is the grapeseed extract, also known as OPC. It's a concentrated source of antioxidant polyphenols from grape seeds. And grape seeds are among the best sources of powerful antioxidants, proanthocyanidins, which build oligomeric proanthocyanidins complexes, also known as OPCs, with unique antioxidant properties. Apart from the free radical protection, this unique mixture of grapeseed components may also relieve inflammation and allergies. It also can kill microbes and cancer cells and protect healthy cells against toxins and radiation. Two meta-analyses of 25 clinical trials with over 1,200 patients in total concluded that grapeseed extract can lower blood pressure. The effect was stronger in younger participants, obese patients, and those with metabolic disorders. In 36 patients at risk of high blood pressure, the extract reduced blood pressure and lowered their risk. OPC supports the heart and blood vessels. It opens up the capillaries, and you will have always warm hands and feet therefore. In 36 subjects in one study, 1 month supplementation with grapeseed extract 2 grams daily protected blood vessels against free radical damage by boosting nitric oxide. In another series of smaller clinical trials with 130 people in total, grapeseed extract lowered the risk of heart disease by lowering oxidative stress and inflammation. It prevented also the oxidation of LDL in the blood vessels, and oxidized LDL can trigger plaque buildup or atherosclerosis. Animal trials confirmed also the ability of this extract to protect the heart and the blood vessels against many problems such as it prevents blood clogging and blood vessel hardening, prevents also blood vessel drug-induced damages. It softens the heart damages, so the scars that can stem from a heart attack. And also in deep vein thrombosis, a blood clot from the legs can get stuck in the lungs and cause a life-threatening condition known as pulmonary embolism. And here grapeseed extract 400 milligrams daily for 8 weeks had blood-thinning effects in a study of 17 older women. And this effect could potentially lower the risk of blood clots and vein thrombosis, which are much more common in older postmenopausal women. And there is even more that you can do for your heart. Don't worry, these are the last supplements that we will talk about in this presentation. And next on the list is nattokinase. This is an enzyme present in natto, a traditional fermented Japanese food. It may help dissolve blood clots, which gives it therapeutic potential for heart diseases. And despite its name, nattokinase is not a kinase enzyme, but instead belongs to the serine protease family of enzymes, which work to break down other proteins. In 2 clinical trials, one with 79 and the other with 86 subjects with high blood pressure, the group which received a dose of nattokinase once a day for 8 weeks had reduced blood pressure, whether systolic or diastolic, compared to the placebo group. One of the studies found also the reduction in blood pressure was more significant in male subjects. Nattokinase inhibits the angiotensin converting enzyme, which causes a narrowing of the blood vessels, and inhibiting this enzyme may be involved in reducing blood pressure. Nattokinase has also the potential to benefit patients with thrombosis, which is a formation of a blood clot inside a blood vessel. In a clinical trial, open label and self-controlled design, 45 subjects were divided into 3 groups and received nattokinase daily for 2 months. A healthy group and patients considered a risk of heart disease and patients undergoing dialysis were participants in this study. And risk factors for heart disease, so fibrinogen factor 7 and factor 8, significantly decreased in all groups. In another study of 12 healthy adult males, a single dose of nattokinase degraded fibrin and decreased levels of coagulation factors, which are involved in blood clotting. Its effect lasted for a long time also, over 8 hours in this study, compared to other enzymes such as tissue plasminogen activator or urokinase. Studies also in human cells suggest that nattokinase directly reduces fibrin clots 6 times more efficiently than plasmin. It also increases activity of anti-clotting enzymes, such as urokinase and TPA. It also reduces pro-clotting enzymes such as PAI1. Daily nattokinase supplementation was remarkably better at reducing plaque size also, 36.6% plaque reduction in a study that causes hardening of the arteries, also known as atherosclerosis, compared to a statin treatment which only produced 11.5% plaque reduction in 82 patients. The mechanisms by which it reduces cholesterol levels and decreases plaque size that results in the prevention of artery hardening may be different from each other. And high von Willebrand factor, or VWF, a mediator released by damaged blood vessels that increases the risk of forming clots. Here the levels are associated with the risk of having a stroke, and in a study of 79 hypertensive patients, VWF was reduced by 15% in the group who took nattokinase, compared to the placebo group that had no consistent change throughout the 8 weeks. However, VWF levels didn't decrease in males who consumed the supplement, and this suggests a gender-specific effect of nattokinase in reducing VWF levels. So, let's sum it all up and come to some conclusions. We've learned that the heart is the most sensitive organ, reacts on emotions, it reacts on stress, feelings, beliefs, and our state of mind. The heart can be overactive, manifesting itself through nervousness, for example, or congestion. So it can be overheated, or sluggish and weak, which is a heart insufficiency. In both cases, the heart will manifest with palpitations. Other organs with a big influence on the heart and its health are the kidneys, the liver, the lungs, and the spleen. And the heart, of course, governs the blood. Thus, healthy heart and abundant blood will manifest in the radiant, peach-like complexion, while a flushed or white pale face indicates a heart-blood disharmony. Many infectious diseases also impact the heart due to the changes in blood quality. And the blood quality is controlled by the livers, we have learned, and the spleen, and therefore these two organs influence very strongly the health of your heart and have to be looked at. The sense organ that the heart corresponds to is the tongue, and therefore the heart also controls the speech. The heart, as we've learned, is also the house of the mind, and therefore different mental conditions such as panic, anxiety, worries, sadness, grief, and depression are a consequence of a malfunctioning heart and can induce heart ailments. And we've presented in this video a whole range of different herbal formulas that act positively on the heart. And one of the best ones is G-strophantine in a highly concentrated 3 milligram format. G-strophantine in combination with the mentioned supplements will prevent heart diseases, heart attacks, will heal angina pectoris, heart congestion, will also allow you a fantastic way of maintaining your cardiovascular and cerebrovascular system. And do not forget, a successful heart therapy implies also to take care of your mind, to calm down your stress, your sadness, your worries, your anger, anxiety, as the heart is the house of your mind. If you have any questions on this subject, please do not hesitate to contact us, 1-888-773-3196. I'm also going to post the complete contact information in the description box below. We love to talk to you and help you out finding out what works best for your specific case. If you've enjoyed this presentation, please also support our work by liking, sharing and subscribing. Also hit the notifications button, the small bell icon, so you don't miss out on the weekly holistic health content that appears on this channel. And with all that being said, stay healthy. Until next time.